Right, what's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of the Together Achieving Greatness show. I am your host, Trevor Gutting here, owner, lead coach here at Tag Performance and Nutrition, which is the sponsor of the Together Achieving Greatness show. So we are on episode 11, and but before we get in, make sure you subscribe. Click the little bell icon below. Subscribe so you can get all the updates, everything live here, so you can communicate, conversate with me while I am doing these shows on YouTube here, so you can get up to date, up to speed, so you're not waiting around and you get the fresh information right away. Then you can, if you get it right away, that means you can implement it right away. And that's the main thing. Whenever you're reading a book, watching something informative, learning something from a class or whatever, it's not just about consuming all that information. It's about taking that information and applying it. And not everything is going to be applicable to you. Not everything is going to be for you. So find what works for you and apply it and try it out and do it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, re rethink it, refigure it out, and just go at it again. We try something new. So, but that's that. And like I said, we are in episode 11 here. I'm recording this on Sunday morning. Usually I do these on Monday, but I'm going to be teaching all week, so I'm not going to have a lot of time during the day to get this done with teaching FIA during the day and then clients at night. So I figured I'd get this done here on a Sunday, give you guys a little go good info, training info to get your week started right. So, again, training. Today I want to talk about kind of the organization of your training, how a day looks like, kind of what the best split is, and what kind of exercises go into everything as far as when you're training like an athlete. Because at Take Performance and Nutrition, that's what we promote. We promote training like an athlete. So you're building strength, you're building muscle, you're building power, you're building speed. That's what your training should be focused on. If your goals are to lose fat, or anything like that, that's going to fall back on your nutrition, because there's no such thing as a fat loss workout. Any workout can be a fat loss workout depending on your nutrition, your um, your sleep, your stress management, those other factors. Because you could do the same exact workout and want to build lean mass and use that same workout and lose fat, do it too. It all just depends on what you're consuming, your food, your nutrition, and your sleep. So stop looking for these magic fat loss workouts, because they don't exist. And training, that's why I believe training like an athlete is the best way to train. So let's start off with kind of how to set up a week and like kind of the best split, days to train, those types of things. So I truly think the best two ways to train like an athlete are either a full body split or a upper lower split or lower upper split, whatever you want to call it. So full body split, as the name implies, you are doing full body workouts every day you train. So think of this as, I typically would say, 3, 4 times a week doing this, depending on your schedule, depending on your lifestyle. You got to find what fits you again. Don't try to cram your life into a 7 day a week program like the old body weight or the bodybuilding splits. That stuff's not going to work for if you're trying to train like an athlete. If you're trying to be a bodybuilder, yeah, that's one thing. But even then, I still don't think training one body part a day is the best way to train. That's kind of the old bro stuff, and it can make you give some big puffy muscles, but they're going to be all show and no go. And we want the muscles that go too. So we want to be able to perform in the gym, at work, in life, and just be able to do the things we love, and not just have the puffy muscles but no substance behind them, so to speak. So yeah, full body split. I think 3 to 4 times a week with a day off in between. So I like this. If I'm doing a full body split, even a upper lower split, I like to go kind of follow the old Charlie Francis method of a high low method. So you got higher intensity days, and then you follow that with a lower intensity day, another high intensity day, a lower intensity day, and a higher intensity day. So let's take, for example, that full body split. So we'd go, boom, so let's say Monday is a day, um, Tuesday, a day off, or maybe some um, light conditioning depending on your goals again, walking, things like that, just some recovery work. Wednesday, another full body lift. Thursday, another day off or recovery day. Um, and then Friday, another full body day, and then take the weekend off or do some recovery work again. We don't want to be killing the body and crushing the body doing hard, high intensity work all the time. And I'll get more into as we break down organization what high intensity is. But we don't want to be doing these high intensity works and crushing our bodies all the time because our body, you need rest too. That's important. So think of you don't want to burn the steak, so to speak, as Tony Holler, I believe he's the one that quoted that. Don't burn the steak, which basically means get your body primed and going with a couple good high intensity workouts, but also recover it. Don't burn it. Don't burn it out on every day, doing something high intensity every day and just crushing yourself every day because fatigue is our enemy. We want to be fresh. We want to be ready to go. Our workout should be improving our life and moving us toward our goals and not just making us feel sore and sweaty and dead tired. That's not a sign of a good workout. That's a sign of just doing, anyone can do that. That's the easiest thing in the world is to make yourself tired. We don't want that. And that's where that high low method comes. So higher intensity activity days and lower intensity activity days. And if we do it with the upper lower split, so an upper lower split is an upper body day and lower body days split out. So for example, in the upper body days, you do pushes, upper body pulls, arms, rows, benches, bench pressing, dumbbell overhead press, um, upper back work, all this stuff for your upper body. Lower body, obviously, going to be squats, hinges, lunges, all the lower body stuff. So a lot of people hate lower body day, but do it. Otherwise, you're going to have chicken legs, and you don't want chicken legs. So yeah, you got your upper body days, lower body days. It doesn't make too much difference. You could go so how there's a couple different ways I like to split up. So say you could do upper body Monday, because upper body technically is not super high intensity. So like lower body squats, hip hinges, lunges, that those things are going to be higher up on the intensity scale. And when I talk about intensity, it's more so for your central nervous system. It's what is going to affect your central nervous system and take the most toll on that. So your lower body, those compounds with heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, heavy lunges, those types of things are going to be higher up on that. So if we're looking at the high-low scale with this, I like to go, a good setup would be like a Monday upper body day. So it's not going to be as intense because you're not able to load and things like that and fry the nervous system as much with the upper body lifts as you are lower body lifts. So that would be more of a lower, a medium day on Monday, and then Tuesday high day with lower body day. Take Wednesday off or recovery day, another low day, followed by another upper body day or low medium day, and followed by another Friday would be a lower body day. Again, high intensity, getting that good workout in, good training session in, and then taking the weekend recovering. So that's one way if you do a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday as your 4 days. Or you could do, if you're doing 4 days a week, you could do a uh, Monday, a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. That's a good split. That's what something I'm currently doing. I really like that, just because again that sets up and keeps me on schedule for once summer starts and baseball starts because we want to keep all our high intensity stuff on the same days as much as possible. So if I'm lifting, I like to lift on the game days. So when we play Wednesdays, Fridays, and then the weekends. So I'm kind of keeping up with that, and then having that day off in between. So how I set a lot of times I'll set it up is high intensity, so lower on Monday, upper on Wednesday, lower on Friday, upper on Saturday is a good way to do it. So getting into those are just a couple ways to set it up. Like I said, if you're doing 3 days a week, I like to go full body. If you're doing 4 days a week, upper lower split, I like that. And then again, now we can get into that's just kind of how the weekly schedule sets up. I like to set that up for training like an athlete for life. And now get into the actual organization of the training each day, and how we set it up, what exercise, what types of exercises go, and all those things. So when training like an athlete, I always have people start out with a workout. This or not a workout, a warm up. In a warm up could be different for everyone. This is kind of where we get into individualization, what you need to work on, what you like to do, and what you're gonna do just to get prepped and primed and ready to go. Because if you just jump in and start sprinting or whatever, you're likely probably gonna pull a hamstring if you don't do any kind of warm up. So if you're so start with a warm up. This could be, and the main thing with a warm up, the main goal of the warm up is to create a window of trainability over that next half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, that you're going to be training. So get the body warm, get the blood flowing, get the body temperature up, especially if you're training early in the morning. Get warmed up and get ready to go, because that you want to be best and you're going to perform the best in your training if you do that. So again, warm-ups include things like, um, it could include just some general movement prep just to get going, get warmed up, followed by some people call them corrective exercises. I like to call them restorative, restoring good, range of motion, good movements, and everything followed up. And then I'll do another episode on the warm up, just complete talk about what a warm up should look like. But then finish it off with something high intensity, get that CNS ready, maybe a jump, a throw, a sprint, something like that. But then, and that's just if you're mainly just doing lifting. But if you want to include sprinting, I like to do a proper sprint warm up too. So this will include things like A skips, B skips, jumps, um, bounds, things like that you're going to be doing just to prime the body, get the body, and just sprinting mechanic drills too, just to get ready. Because I think you should sprint multiple times a week. And so after the warm up, we get into our speed work, because speed, if you look at the intensity scale, speed is the highest thing on that intensity scale as far as our CNS. So sprinting is the most taxing thing you can do, most taxing exercise you can do. I also think it's the best exercise you can do. I think everyone should be sprinting. It is the highest up there. So start with your speed work. So if you want to get faster, you need to be fully kind of mentally prepared, ready to go, freshest. You got to be your freshest. So start your training with your speed work. Do that before any of your lifting. So we're going to work on getting faster with our speed work first. So things like um, short acceleration sprints. You got your top end speed, so like your fly 10s, your fly 20s, those types of things. 40-yard dashes, 30-yard dashes, all these sprint, even change of direction sprint work, just so you are fresh. You want to be fresh for your speed work because that is the most taxing, the most demanding on our central nervous system. So get your speed work down first, make that number one, and then follow that up with, if you're playing a sport, if you're an athlete currently, uh, then follow that up. Next would be your practice. So if you're doing speed work, if you're practicing, a lot of it, this is where that conditioning problem gets in. Coaches think they need to run people down and just run them all the time to get them in great shape and provide mental toughness and all this old school train of thought. And they think they're getting faster like that way, but they're not. You're just wearing your players down. So speed work should come before practice. Practice should be second. Technical skill work. So for example, if I'm working with a couple catchers right now, so we do our speed work first, and then we do like catching skill work, and then we get into our actual lifting session. So speed, technical skill work, or sports work next, and then follow up. And you might not even be doing that skill work. So that if you're just doing a regular training session, if you're not currently an athlete or currently including that in your training, that could be even a separate total session too. If you're just skill work, because a lot of times people will work with a coach or go to a gym to lift and train and sprint and stuff, but then they'll go to a skills coach, which it's a whole nother thing. I mean, even though I do it, I don't think most kids, they got other things they should work on, like getting stronger, getting faster before they need, and just actually practicing their sport rather than paying for all these showcases and all this this stuff and playing sports year round. But that's a whole nother issue. So we got speed, we got technical skill work, so your sports skills. Then we got power work. So this is things like jumps, throws with med balls. Um, some of my favorite stuff to do in training like an athlete for life. This is stuff you should always do. So jumps. So you got broad jumps, box jumps, vertical jumps, bounds. Um, I can't height ins. So like skater jumps. So one leg, single leg jumps. All these different things. You got all these different. There's a ton of variations of jumps. So you're gonna include those after your speed work. You're also going to include throws for um, throws can be full body, they can be, but a lot of times they're upper body. So you got med ball chest passes, med ball shot puts, med ball side tosses, rotational tosses, overhead soccer throws, lying on your back overhead throws, tons of different throws again, just create power, create force, and just have fun. They're kind of fun. They can a good way to take some anger out if you want to. If you're angry, you want to throw a heavy med ball or even light med balls. Just med balls at different weights. Throw for speed, throw for distance. Try and beat your distance. Try and throw it faster if you got a radar gun. It's a good way to measure. Um, so, so one we have our speed again. Two we have our technical or sports skill. Three power in our order of operations here. Then we're going to get into number four. Then we get into our strength work. So building that strength. So think strength. You can have strength at different rep ranges, but I tend to not go super high with heavy weights. Think that 5 reps and lower most of the time. You can go up to 6 or 7 every once in a while, and train those just to get a different stimulus. But think 5 reps or lower, building strength in your compound movements. So your bench press, your push, your pull, your hip hinge, your lunging, split squats, all these different things. Building strength in those that range of motion. Then after your strength work, you're going to follow that up with your accessory lifts or supplemental lifts. So this is anything that helps out. So you could do, like if you're doing a squat, maybe you're going to do a hip hinge after that, an RDL or something like that. These are your extra lifts. These are going to be, again, supplementing and helping build muscle, build power, build strength in different areas of your body. So whatever you're working on. So these could be anything from squats to hinges to pushes to pulls, push-ups, pull-ups, and even isolation work with your biceps, your triceps, calves, upper back, um, core. That's all going to be in there. So that's your accessories, your supplemental lifts. And then the last phase would be, if you're going to do it, is conditioning. And you can do conditioning after, I like to do, depending on what your goals are. Again, it's going to be so individual for each person. You can throw conditioning with maybe like some sled pushes or farmer's carries or something like that. Whatever you're going to do for your conditioning, metabolic conditioning, again, your goals are going to dictate that. Or you can also do those on a separate day. Like I like to use a lot of my quote unquote conditioning work as just some mobility circuits and sled walking on my off days, because I find it promotes recovery, makes me feel better, and makes you feel like you're doing something. Because yes, your off days should be used for recovery, but that doesn't mean just sitting around on the couch eating potato chips and ice cream. That means actually getting up, going for a walk, doing something light and active, playing with the kids, whatever it may be, just to make sure you're moving. So you're taking an off day from lifting and training hard, but you're also making sure you're moving and staying active a little bit, and not just throwing all your good progress away in the gym. So again, our organizational chart of training, you start with your speed work, so your sprints, uh, getting faster. Then if you're playing a sport, you get into your technical sport work, so your skill development. So let's run back. Let's start with like an actual training session. If kind of what I would do if I have someone who's doing catching with me as well. So we start with our sprint work. Or we start with our warm up, obviously, and then get all that done, get ready, get our body ready to sprint. And then we get into our sprint work. So, for example, let's say we're working on acceleration this day, a lower body day working on acceleration. So we are, I'm going to do, maybe we'll do some jump back 10-yard sprints. So we do what? We'll do 6 of those, 10-yard sprints, just giving you a rough example off the top of my head. Um, 6 of those 10-yard sprints, full rest in between them. So at least 60 seconds rest in between, again, depending on the athlete or person. Boom, we can do our sprints. If we're doing catching, we'll jump in. We'll do some catching. Maybe we'll do some blocking drills. We'll do some framing, receiving. We'll do um, throwdowns, different stuff like that, depending on. And we're probably not going to do all that. A lot of times I like to do these catching sessions separate just because there's a lot of little things to work on. But if we're doing it in and I just want to give you an example, I don't do a ton of it, but a training example of having a sports skill in there, that number 2 thing. So work on his catching skills, blocking, receiving, framing, those types of things. Then we jump into our power work. So we'll go jumps. So we did acceleration. So we did a jump back 10-yard sprint. Let's do some broad jumps. We'll throw in 3 sets of 3 broad jumps, jumping as far as you can. Walk back to the start. Try and beat it each time, making sure you are fully rested. Lower body, so there's our power. Then let's get into our strength. We'll do a trap bar deadlift. Let's say we'll work up to a 5 rep max for the day. Get stronger that way. Follow that up. Get done with that. Making sure we're resting in between, because the heavier you're going, the more rest you're going to want. Just so you can repeat it and give it your best effort and have the most chance of successfully completing the lift and not getting injured. And then after that strength work, we'll get into our accessories. So if we did a trap bar deadlift, maybe we'll follow that up with a Bulgarian split squat for a couple sets, 8, and maybe some goblet squats after that for 3 sets of 10, and finish it off with some Nordic hamstring curls or some sort of hamstring curl, or something like that, and maybe some core work to finish it off. So you see, not a ton. It's not 55 different exercises, but it is a good, nice training session in that case. With this athlete, I won't do conditioning. I won't want to do conditioning probably at the end, just because they're going to be they're going to be feeling pretty good, but they're going to be drained for the day. So good amount of work. It's better to not train too much than train less. Less is more is what I'm trying to say. So again, to recap, number 1 in our organizational chart, we got warm up, and once you're warmed up, do your speed work. If you're athlete, number 2 would be your sports skill work. Number 3 is your strength work, or sorry, number 3 is your power. So throws, jumps, things like that, bounds. Number 4 is your strength work. So working on force, creating force, getting force in those compound movements, squats, hip hinges, pushes, pulls, lunges, things like that. And then 5 is our accessories, the exercises that help benefit and supplement our strength work. So that is kind of the organizational chart, guys, on how I like to have athletes train. I call it my athlete for life. And I mean, I didn't come up with this at all. I've used this from years of experience and working with many different coaches, kind of setting it up very similarly. And I find this works best, not just for athletes, but for anyone who is wanting to be an athlete for life. That's how I train. That's what my programs are based on, is being an athlete for life. And because that is going to help you do the things in life you love. You're going to be able to play with your kids. You're going to be able to go on trips, go for hikes, go bike ride, play golf, shoot hoops, whatever it is you like to do on your free time. Training like an athlete for life is going to get you and put you in the best position to unleash greatness in your life, because that's what you should all strive for, is unleashing greatness in your life. Why be average when you can be great? So, and TAG Performance and Nutrition does help people unleash greatness. And I wanted to give you this kind of breakdown of how to set up your training, because so many people wonder in their mind, oh, I got to train, and they just randomly doing random workouts. Oh, just pop on Instagram. Oh, look at this hot chick with a big booty. I'm going to jump on and do that workout. Or, oh, that guy's got six pack. That means if I do this workout, I'm going to get a six pack too. No, you can't just be doing these random workouts and things like that. You have to have a training plan, a training program, and have goals in mind and an idea of what you're going to do before you go to the gym. So you know what you're going to do. You're not just wasting time, because so many people waste time thinking, scrolling, wondering, oh, what's my next workout going to be? Or, oh, I should have program hop to this one. Oh, this guy looks cool. Oh, this one's cool. No, just get something in the books, program, and go for it. Do it. Do it for 12 weeks or whatever it's for, and then see, and then reevaluate your goals. But again, your program should be designed for you, specifically for you, and it should fit your lifestyle, not the other way around. You don't want to make a program, make your lifestyle fit some random program. And that's where, if you are sick and tired of thinking and wasting time and energy on coming up with your own program or training plan, nutrition plan, that's where Tag Performance and Nutrition comes in. That's what we specialize in, developing individualized training plans so you can build a leaner, more athletic body, be an athlete for life, so you can live life pain-free and set a good example for your family and friends, and ultimately unleash greatness in your life. So again, guys, thank you for checking out this episode 11 coming to an end here. You can like the video below and make sure you subscribe so you can get all the updates on when I will release episode 12. Thank you, guys.